Alright, New Game Plus Derek here. Gonna play some Megaman X. Big favorite of mine. Love this game, played it a lot as a kid. Mostly familiar with X, not so familiar with X2 and X3, but I will be doing those eventually as well. Megaman X has, I think, one of the best intro stages in a game. It teaches you everything you need to know about the game without ever actually, like, telling you anything. Lets you figure everything out on your own. We're just gonna rush through this little intro section. Of course, Mega Man X is the first Mega Man game that came out for the Super Nintendo. Most of the rest of the series, Mega Man, 1 through I believe 6 or 7, were all for the NES. Mega Man X added a lot of new features like wall jumping. That was its way of teaching it to you right there. You encounter that enemy and he falls down that big thing, and then if you played the original Mega Man games first, you wouldn't know what to do until you jump at the wall and realize, wait a minute, I'm sliding down slowly, and it kind of teaches you that's how you progress, so that you can actually wall jump in this game. I always, when I was a kid, had trouble with these falling platforms. Sad to say, I know, but I did die on the intro stage a few times. Also, those guys, they like coming at you right as you do a jump and can knock you off sometimes. I would always try to shoot these guys until they're down to just one piece, then ride the car. No reason, it's just a fun little thing to do. And then, of course, I got hit by the car. It's a lot slower than walking, but I always just was entertained by trying to do that. It explodes on its own eventually. I actually shouldn't have gotten that health. This intro stage is a lot faster if you stay low on health, because this part coming up forces you to take damage. Basically, you have to fake lose against Vile. You can't actually win the fight. So you just kind of let him beat you up until you get low. I love that sound of him walking. Calls you a worthless piece of scrap metal. This is before Zero was really all about his sword. This intro does a really good job of painting the picture that X isn't really that strong yet. The game has a really good way of making you want to be strong like Zero, showing you that you're weak, and then giving you the slow progression of power. Of course, this is back before saving was a thing. Well, saving was a thing in some games, but this game utilized the password system still. We're going to start with Chill Penguin. Chill Penguin's the stage where you first get the boot upgrade. Again, if you've played other Mega Man games, but not X, not each game has 4, but there's generally 4 suit upgrades or more, depending on the game. And the first one is here, and you really can't do much without it. So we're gonna do the stage first. I don't have any energy tanks yet, so not energy tanks. Reserve tank. Well, they might be called energy tanks actually. I can't even think right now. I always struggled on this jump. Probably going to miss it the first try. Yep. Every time. You have to jump right at the right spot or you miss it every time. Dr. Light comes up. Talks about how I gave him the ability to choose. He wanted him to be peaceful, but too bad for him. That's not the choice if he gets to live. This is the capsule that gives you the boot upgrade, which lets you dash. Most every upgrade in this game requires you to be able to dash. And as you can see, it greatly improves the rate at which you can move. And jump, and that's important. That's the most important part, is you can reach a lot of things. Because normally, it's about as far as you can get, but with a dash jump, you can see you get a lot farther. It's also the first introduction to the ride armors. Each stage also comes with a heart upgrade that gives you more life. This one you can't get until you have a different power, so we're gonna have to come back here later. I really like these snowball robots. I'm gonna damage boost their enemies a lot. It's not that, well, I'm not gonna say I'm great at the game, but it's not because I can't kill them, it's just because it makes things a lot faster. And Chill Penguin's a really easy boss, I don't really need to worry about coming into the fight with full health. He poses very little challenge. Oh. Touching him does do a lot of damage, but he's definitely not hard. Chill Penguin, please. There we go. It's definitely the easiest boss in Megaman X. In probably the whole series. But if you don't do him first, you won't have the boots, and not having the boots makes this game very hard. We got Shotgun Ice. We're actually not going to go to his weapon weakness, which would be Spark Mandrill. We're going to go to Storm Eagle next to get another armor upgrade. We're going to do things not in, or I'm going to do things, rather, not in weapon weakness order. I'm going to do a little armor collecting order first. Generally in Mega Man games, every boss is weak to another boss's power. If this is your first experience with Mega Man, grab this heart, you can see my health go up. That was embarrassing. Those enemies are designed just to grab you to make you kill them off the cliff. And well, that happened. Wow, I got some genuine Super Nintendo slowdown right there. That actually can happen a lot in this game. In this level in particular, there's a lot going on. A lot of enemies and a lot of moving things at once. And slowdown definitely happens. We're gonna kill this guy and ride up for a sub-tank, that's what they're called. I don't know why I call them energy tanks. This is not Super Metroid. And see, because I have the dash boots, I could just jump right over that guy. It also makes all this platforming easier. We love Storm Eagle's theme. Really, all the music in Mega Man X is great, but this one in particular I've always been a real big fan of. I think I can just straight jump there now. Yeah. Down in those little tanks there that I jumped over, there was I believe a 1-up, but we don't really need that. Shoot these a bunch to break them. That leads to another bodysuit upgrade. This capsule contains a helmet. Allows you to break the ceiling with a headbutt. Alright, this suit upgrade is the helmet, which lets you break blocks. It's really only needed in, I think, 3 places in the whole game. But most importantly, it's how it's needed to get the arm upgrade. Which isn't, you know, necessary to beat the game, but whenever I play through this game, I always like to get each suit piece before I really push on. Which is funny, because I don't actually really use anything that you get from the arm upgrade. I just like to have it. I've always done that. If I were to realistically speedrun the game, I would obviously not do that. But it's just how I've always played the game. Sometimes I would even just quit out and not fight Storm Eagle, because I like to get all the suit pieces and then do boss order. But that takes a little longer, and there's not really a reason to do that. It's just a thing I did. Storm Eagle's pretty easy. He's not quite as easy as a Chill Penguin, but he's definitely not hard. The most dangerous thing he has is that dash, which can catch you. You basically just dash out of the way, and he won't hit you. And then you can sometimes get a pot shot off. But he's definitely more threatening than Chill Penguin was. He's got those little birds which do basically nothing. He can actually throw you off the edge, which sometimes he'll do that thing where he flaps his wings, and then he'll shoot a little tornado and it pushes you pretty far. You just gotta dash through it though. You're fine. Overall, he's not a hard boss. Yeah, there we go. Pretty easy fight. The most threatening thing about him is if you came here before you have dash, it's actually really easy for him to push you off the stage. The game was designed having dash in mind, as were all future Mega Man games, Megaman X games in particular, which is why all future Mega Man X games from this point on start you with the boots. And well, they start you with dash, then the boots do something else. But this game doesn't work exactly like that. You have to get the boots first. And if you've never played the game, you wouldn't really know that they're in Chill Penguin stage, so if you start at any other stage, you're gonna have a bad time. I'm gonna go to Flame Mammoth next. Wind is kind of his weakness. And this game does a really cool thing where I guess I could have shown it to you earlier, but since I beat Chill Penguin's stage, this place is normally filled with like lava, and since Chill Penguin is done, the lava's all frozen. Why exactly? I'm not sure. It's just how it is. But normally this place is all lava. Lava like erupts from the ground and breaks through parts. This is probably the most annoying jump in video game history, and I just messed it up. You have to dash jump right off there at the perfect spot, and catch the corner of that, and then kind of mash jump. So now since I broke that, I'm gonna have a bad time. It is still possible, though. Well, now it's not possible. Now I'm just gonna have to get myself killed. Any extra health you get when your health is full goes to the sub-tank. You can see it's a little bit more full now. Basically, the way those work is they fill with extra health on top of your normal health, and you can use them as reserve healing when you need them. Oh, are you kidding me? This jump right here is why I can never realistically speedrun this game, I swear. Oh, I finally got it. You have to hit it just right, and then if you like don't hit X to jump at the right time, you basically fall, and then there's no way to get it. This capsule contains a part which will increase the capabilities of your X-Buster. In all Mega Man X games, once you get the arm upgrade, it lets you charge boss weapons, which is really cool. It also changes your final shot. This game probably has one of my favorites, actually. The purple Wavelade. I don't know what to call it, but I love it. You can also charge weapons. I never showed the weapons, I just realized. So Shotgun Ice shoots a little pellet, and it bounces. It's kind of whatever. The charge up for it's pretty cool, actually. Creates a little ice bike that you can ride. Not bike, but more like a sled. But Storm Eagles shoots a tornado. It's really good, actually. Definitely one of the better ones. The heart for him, for Flame Mammoth is right here. Normally the fire will erupt and break the ground right there, and you're supposed to kind of just damage boost your way through it. Which you can do, but it's a lot easier to just come here after Chill Penguin. Although if you're doing boss order, you might not necessarily do that because Chill Penguin is weak to Flame Mammoth's power. There's another sub-tank right here. I think these are the only two spots in the entire game that ever require the helmet. But to be fair, other Mega Man X games, the helmet just does like a scan or something similar to that. And those are never actually required if you know where you're going. So I guess the helmet does matter more in this game in that regard. I always like those little crushing things. Flame Mammoth has probably one of the easiest stages in most Mega Man games. It's really small too. And I'm just gonna run through these guys. So we're already at the boss, and that's after I spent wasted time getting the energy tank and the weapon upgrade. Flame Mammoth is another boss that's really easy. He's definitely not hard. He basically just jumps. If you're on the ground, it kind of makes you fall. He can shoot a little oil thing, and then he can set that on fire as well, because sometimes he shoots fire. Tornado's really good against him as well. It's not his true weakness, but it's one of his weaknesses, I guess. I don't know how that didn't hit him. You can actually get 2 hits on him if you shoot at a good spot. There we go. Yeah, he's not too threatening. We got Fire Wave. We're gonna go back to Chill Penguin real quick to get the heart tank that I missed. Didn't miss, but you just can't get it without this power. It lets you just shoot a constant stream of fire. It persistently drains your energy while you do it though. The charge up does this, which is really really strong actually. On a flat stage like this, you can just kind of use it as a shield and kill everything in a row. Oftentimes when I'm playing Mega Man X games, I don't even use the powers as much as I should. A lot of them are really helpful and really strong, but I don't know. I've always been fond of just using the Buster for most situations. This jump is obviously way easier with the dash boots. It would have been nice if they gave you the dash boots before that jump. See, that guy tried to knock me off the cliff. No jokes like that. Most things can be taken down really easily with just spamming the shot. Bosses, however, generally have like an invincibility period, so you can't just do spam shooting like that. Here's that heart, so now I can escape. You can only escape once you've already killed the boss for the stage. Now that we've done all that, we're going to go down boss order. I could go get the armor in Sting Chameleon stage, but I don't really need it. So, Chill Penguin's weak to Flame Mammoth. Flame Mammoth is weak to Tornado, kind of. Storm Eagle is kind of weak to Sting Chameleon's power. So next up, we're going to do Spark Mandrill. Spark Mandrill stage actually has a unique thing, environmental effect as well. The airship thing that was in Storm Eagle stage actually crashes here and basically breaks most of the power plant. Normally there's like lightning shooting through the place and it's not dark like this, but since it's a power plant that got hit with an airplane, it's having some struggles right now. The power goes off and on. There's an energy tank here that I can't get yet. I need another power to do that. I always thought those things were cool. I never knew what they were. They're just like little light beams. Oh, I'm surprised that didn't kill me. Gonna go fight my least favorite sub-boss ever. I've never really known what's good against him. I usually just... He can't shoot. Normally he shoots lightning, but he can't since the power's off. He normally drains the power from the ceiling kind of thing, and then he shoots lightning. I've always kind of just used this to fight him. I don't know what's best against him. Whoop. He kills him pretty quick, though. He's one of the harder sub-bosses, actually. I would argue that he's harder than Chill Penguin and Flame Mammoth are. Just because he can trap you in the water and actually does a lot of damage by touching you with his body. He's more threatening, at least. He might not be as strong. Spark Mandrill stage is quite a bit longer than some of the other ones. This heart piece doesn't require any powers, it just requires to do a really good jump like that off the wall. When you jump off the wall, you can kind of loop around, because if you just do this, you'll hit the ceiling, but the upper arc of his jump is a little in a different spot, so you can jump off the wall and then still grab that thing. The Tornado is actually really good against them. Oop. I never remember where those things come, no matter how many times I play this game. Spark Mandrill is critically weak to the ice power. In fact, a lot of games refer to it as Spark Mandrill syndrome. Right, not only is he weak to ice, it completely just turns him off. You don't really have to do anything. Ice power, or enemies who are weak to ice often have this where they just get frozen, and you can see why that's a problem. If you don't actually have his power, he's pretty difficult, but I don't think I've ever done this game out of boss order except for when I first played it. So I couldn't tell you what Spark Mandrill actually does. I don't remember. Now we're gonna do Armored Armadillo. Megaman bosses are generally some type of animal and then some type of power. Well, I think they're always actually an animal. Of course, when I was a kid, I had no idea what a mandrill was. I believe it's a type of primate. I still don't really even know. Real lag problems on this stage. That That cart has a lot of going on, a lot of enemies at once. We're gonna actually trick this thing by just going right above him. And that thing, if that front part touches you, you just instant die. So you're kind of supposed to run away from it. If you backtrack, you get another sub-tank. I did not know he was... I didn't even see that. Fill up the energy tank a little bit. You're supposed to kind of run away from him until you hit those spikes, and when he falls in, he dies, but that's not how he handled it. This stage has a lot going on, which really overloads the Super Nintendo's capabilities. You'll see the game lag a lot on this stage. Definitely near the end of the stage where the birds come in. I really like that jump off there when you dash. Here's another part of this guy, except you're behind him this time. The goal here is you're supposed to kill him before he gets to the energy tank or the heart tank that's up here. You can do it just by mashing the shoot button, but it's definitely a lot easier with fire. Here we're gonna see a lot more slowdown from these birds. It slows down real hard. There is a secret up here, which we'll come back to later. The lightning power we got from Spark Mandrill just shoots a little orb, and it hits walls and shoots upwards. The charge up is actually really cool. Spark Mandrill has one of my favorite powers, I think. Armored Armadillo can be a real pain. He's pretty hard without his weakness. He's actually pretty hard even with his weakness. He's one of the more dangerous bosses in the game. You shock him and it knocks off all of his armor, and then he can kind of just... Whoops. Whoops. There we go, that should be it. Yep. You can see he's still pretty... He's not that hard, but he's definitely harder than Spark Mandrill or Chill Penguin. This game has a weird sort of difficulty curve where... I mean, the stages aren't in order. It's not like stage 1, stage 2. It's just whatever stage order you feel like doing. And if you were to do, say, him first, you would have a hard time. I'm gonna do Launch Octopus next. This is a stage I both love and hate. I really like the music here. I love Launch Octopus's design. It's a water stage, which a lot of people hate in video games, but I usually like water stages. I just always have liked water. The fact that it's a water stage is what makes it hard. It's just the design, the mini-boss, and the spikes. Sparkman, or if you notice, Chill Penguin had no spikes in his whole stage, I don't remember. Flame Mammoth doesn't really either. There's 1 or 2 spots that can get you. This stage has spikes everywhere, and spikes in Mega Man games are instant kills. Generally, the more spikes that are in a stage, the more difficult it is, just because instant kills are always annoying to deal with. This guy's also really annoying. He has a lot of health. There's not really an easy way to dodge those. Dash jumping is usually the best way to do it, but they have a bunch of different patterns, and they can throw you off. The first time you fight, it's not a problem. The second time is in... Well, you'll see here in just a minute. There's a bunch of spikes in the area, and he does that sucking move, and I'm probably gonna die once or twice. I almost always do. Just... You have to... He pulls you, and you have to jump, but if you jump too far, you jump too little, you'll end up getting pulled right into the spikes. And again, there's no real way to not get hit by those things. You just kind of gotta hope they do a pattern that's helpful. There we go. Should have picked the small one up first. underwater you can fly on those things, and also underwater you can jump a lot higher. Typical video game water physics. This is one of the coolest heart tanks I think are in the game. You go up here and you kill this ship that basically rains torpedoes on you. Forgot how much health this thing has. Fire's probably the easiest way to kill it. Well, it would have been if I would have started with that. Yeah, this ship falls and just completely explodes this place. And reveals this little secret cavern. Notice all these spikes. Why is there this many spikes? There's this underwater snake thing. And you ride on his back and basically shoot him in the head to hurt him. It's got a lot of health. So you just basically climb on his back and unload on him. Oh, real close to falling in the spikes there. See, I don't know where he is. Up there he is. This isn't normally how I'd do this. Normally I would just be on top of him and shooting him the whole time, but I kind of fell there. There we go. The worst part about him is if you're on his back shooting him, he disappears when he dies, obviously, as you saw, and I have once or twice just fallen straight into the spikes. Because there's not really a great way of knowing where they are. I think you just fall on one of these pillars, and that's the easiest. I can't believe I just did that. Well, showing what normally happens, I did that. And then this is the worst continue spot because you continue right before this guy. But you can see my health bar is getting pretty big now. Getting the heart in every stage, just about every stage. Here's what this place is like if you don't kill that ship. Which, to be fair, nothing would tell you that you can kill the ship. Unless you rode that thing up. Get to fight another one of these guys, but this time no spikes, so we're fine. I always liked how you get that noise of him crawling out. And he just rips through the ground like that. The development team who designed the monsters in this game, well, they're robots, all of them are robots, but I think they did a really good job. I think the designs all look really cool. I'm not sure how the robots work underwater, though. They're a lot more advanced. Those fish suck you up, and then you kind of gotta kill them from the inside, though they're not that big a deal. Launch Octopus is weak to, really nothing. At least not like any of the other bosses in this game. And he's pretty difficult. Although Rolling Shield does good against him. He doesn't like have a long hit effect like Spark Mandrill or Armored Armadillo does. If you get pulled in that, he grabs a hold of you and kind of drains your life. He also shoots missiles at you. He's another boss that if you were to come to first, you would probably have no chance. Because even with his weakness, he can do good damage against you. There we go. And this looks like the perfect spot to end this episode. We'll finish up Megaman X either next episode or the episode after that. I hope you've enjoyed seeing this. We got Homing Torpedo, really good move, but we'll see more what it does next time. Thanks for watching.